crush. You're in pain. And then one day, he comes out, a beautiful baby boy. To God be the glory. Congratulations to every mama out there. You're doing a great job.
You guys should all be aware that Nicki Minaj just declared her split from her spouse, which suggests that they are no longer together. Hold on, however, because this isn't just a straightforward breakup. Nicki claims that Kenneth has been taking advantage of her money the whole time, and he reportedly lost it on her and abandoned her after she stopped paying him. And if you thought that was nasty, there's more to it since sources have now revealed Nicki's purported addiction, claiming that she has been abusing various controlled narcotics excessively, which has been causing her to act erratically. This is a terrible disaster, baby, and Nicki's future doesn't seem promising at all. As depressing as it may sound, we sort of predicted that Nicki's husband, KennethPetty, would take advantage of her celebrity and fortune as soon as we learned she was married. When she announced her engagement, her fans were ecstatic, particularly as it was revealed that they had been childhood sweethearts who had reconciled after a long separation. She married secretly, which was an odd decision, but, love drives people crazy, correct? Looking back, however, it all makes perfect sense as to why Nicki chose to keep her connection with Kenneth quiet. To put it mildly, his history is quite mysterious. When Kenneth was caught and charged in 1995 for allegedly forcing a female to have sex with him using firearms, he got himself into a lot of difficulty. He received a jail term, which he served for 7 years. He had to cope with supervised release upon his release until 2018. Not to be outdone, the state of New York classified him as a Category 2 offender, which essentially suggested they weren't holding out much hope for his future conduct, and that there was a chance he would commit crimes again. As a condition of his parole, he had to register as an offender each time he moved over state lines to reside in a different state. However, he failed to register when he relocated to live with Nicki in California after their marriage, which is when things began to go wrong for him. He had moved from New York. He was taken into custody right away and placed under a $20,000 bail. It's also likely that Nicki was the one to go deep into her wallet to pay for his bail, as his primary title seems to be Mr. Nicki Minaj. Fans were outraged by Nicki's consenting marriage to a predator, and this caused her to get a lot of negative feedback on social media. Given that her brother was also found guilty of SA, fans began to give her the side look over this. After committing a terrible act against his 12-year-old stepdaughter, Nicki's brother found himself in a lot of legal hot water. This is the embarrassing part. Nicki took the lead throughout the whole trial drama, essentially pleading with the court for her brother's forgiveness in spite of the overwhelming evidence against him. It's sort of understandable why Nicki ended up with someone like Kenneth, because she was pulled from being a SA apologist, and he still ended up in jail, which made her seem awful. The fact that Nicki kept standing up for Kenneth against the internet didn't help either. She wrote, "Go off the internet, she was young, he was young, and they were in a relationship. I won't let you rule my life. Not even you can manage your own life." His failure to register with the state of California ultimately came to light in 2022 when he was hit with a $5,000 fine. And can you all guess who covered the cost of that? That's who, Nicki. People began to question what Kenneth really did for a living at this point. He didn't have a regular job and didn't work in entertainment, so it seemed that he was taking advantage of Nicki and was content to be Nicki Minaj's mister. The situation deteriorated when Jennifer Ho, the victim of his 1995 SA, went public and requested assistance online, alleging that Nicki and Kenneth had been threatening her and sending people after her. In addition, she said that Nicki had given her an enormous deal to backtrack and admit that she was making this entire thing up and that Kenneth hadn't really slept with her. This made Nicki seem even worse, and she was publicly shamed. One individual made a strong argument that it is unacceptable to ignore Nicki's behavior, regardless of how much you like her music. She has even attempted to purchase the quiet of her victims by accusing them of lying. You don't need a Harvard degree in morals and ethics to see that Nicki is wrong in this situation, even if you still like her music. Fans should remove their rose-colored glasses and hold their idols responsible for once. Fans also brought out the fact that she has previously worked with and even supported musicians that have a reputation for being S-a-persons. For instance, 69, who was 19 at the time, admitted guilt to exploiting a 13-year-old in a performance in October 2015. He was swiftly put in defense by Nicki, who said, "I wanted him to perform with me at the VMAs. That's just the way things are. You can't tell me anything about someone you don't know. That's the way things are." Fans noted that Nicki began acting strangely after she married Kenneth, such as when she said she was quitting music to spend more time with her partner. "I've chosen to retire and spend time with my family," she tweeted. "I know you two are content right now." Nicki was at the peak of her game, and when you're the unquestioned reigning queen of rap, you don't simply quit. So that was a surprise that came out of nowhere. Afterwards, she gave in and took down the tweet. In a recent tweet, she said, "You know that I'm still here, still incredibly in love with you guys." Looking back, this radio conversation ought to have been clean, and it will be. I can assure you that we will be content. No visitors. Just the two of us discussing everything. The tweet was hurried and hurtful. "I'm sorry, sweetie." Nicki subsequently changed her mind about her retirement intentions in an interview with Billboard, stating, "I love music and interacting with fans, so I can't really see taking myself completely away." But she also wanted to be open to new opportunities in life. It is, in my opinion, crucial to grow as a woman outside of the magnifying lens. I have to make sure that as a person, I'm well-rounded. Even more strangely, she claimed that her admirers were offended when she announced her retirement and that this had wounded her emotions. "I had no idea my fans would react that way to the tweet," she claimed. "It wounded my sentiments since I thought that my approach to it was maybe too dramatic." Her actions seemed to become more unpredictable as time went on, as seen by her outburst at Megan Thee Stallion in January after Megan's disclosure of her husband's background. Nicki continued to pull Megan while being clumsy. Additionally, supporters think it was like to nose candy. But Nicki denied being there and said that her admirers were attempting to discredit her by stating things like, "You know they mad when you see the word crant. I've never done C in my life, if you can hear how much I'm giggling. But I would do it with pride if I did." Fans, however, aren't persuaded that she's completely clean, and things became worse a few days ago when she uploaded this video, which alarmed many.
One day, they're yelling, "Push." And you're in pain. And then one day, it comes out, a beautiful baby boy. To God be the glory. Congratulations to every mama out there. You're doing a great job.
When he stated, "You want to holler that people judge your disgusting husband because they're not used to being loved, but you know who is used to being loved exactly like you?" In January, blogger Ken Barbie spilled this tea. Wendy Williams. He was utterly devoted to her pockets, allowing her to indulge in various narcotics so he could continue to go through her purse while you sat there looking put together. That guy is keeping you high on drugs and combining horse tranquilizers and Ozempic with your nose sweets so he can make you appear even more foolish while robbing you of your money and making you look insane. As for Kenneth, well, a few sources have kind of verified this, saying he's been feeding Nicki drugs so he can access her money without getting caught. However, it was apparently insufficient for him, as he purportedly desired total authority over Nicki's assets and money. She is fortunate to have a committed staff that stood 10 toes behind her and stopped Kenneth from grabbing hold of her money. He is allegedly reducing his losses now that he is aware that the game is over. The rumors on the streets state that he broke up with her and moved on. As she acknowledged being single on Twitter, Nicki seemed to be confirming this. This reportedly drove Nicki into a tailspin, and it's been said that she has resumed using, which explains the whole video that she uploaded in which she seemed strange. Fans said, "This is so crazy. You're getting dumped by the same offender you've been defending for years, and now he's got you in multiple lawsuits." In actuality, what goes around comes around. I find it difficult to feel sorry for Nicki since, really, you made fun of other people who were sobbing on the internet? Look at you now, in tears over KennethPetty. Additionally, it's likely that Kenneth fattened Nicki up and got her hooked on drugs to get her to remain with him. I'm a little sorry for her. He most likely told her he was the only one who could ever love her while making her feel and look horrible. It is depressing. I know this is crazy, but tell me what you think in the comments below,